Hey, what's up, YouTube? What's up, guys? Welcome back to Eau de Treasure. This is Steven. I collect discontinued, vintage, rare, and interesting fragrances where I live in Japan. I find a lot of them online, sometimes in vintage or thrift stores, but most of them I find online and buy them secondhand. They come to my door, just like the two I found in this pack that arrived today. Two vintage fragrances, one from the 70s and one from the 80s. I've mentioned these before on the channel. Both of them are opened. I'm going to be trying them out and giving you some quick impressions of what they smell like, and just showing you two rare fragrances that I've added to my collection. The first one is called Jean Patou Parfum Joy, and the other one is called Eau de Capucci, a famous, very masculine, old school fragrance from the 80s for men. Let's open this up and see what treasure awaits. No padding, but they're wrapped in plastic. Let's do the Jean Patou first. Is it Jean Patou? Is it Jean Patou? Guys, let me know. If it's French, it's probably Jean Patou, but I've heard it called Jean Patou on some of the other YouTube channels. So I've talked about this one before. Joy is a famous ladies fragrance from Jean Patou, and this is the parfum version. It comes in, it has another cover, another sleeve that comes over this one, but that has been removed. This has been opened before, but I've never smelled it. So here we go. It's the catalog number 1104. That is the product number. So there's other products like the Eau de Toilette, Joy, and of course you guys know the famous masculine fragrance called Patou pour homme. That rarely ever pops up here online. Once a year, if I'm lucky, that pops up. Don't have that. If I have that, of course, I'm going to make a video if I pick that up. Of course, if you guys check Raiders of the Lost Scent, link in the description, there's a whole page on Joy, and it's really detailed about this company and the fragrances, and all the information about this house is featured there. 7-4, that is 1974. This came out before I was born. The cool thing about this one, it's been opened, so I'm finally going to smell it. Joy. Cool. So as Raiders of the Lost Scent says, that this company really, like, everything they created was like a work of art. Very masterful, the way they made it. These are crystal bottles, supposedly like real crystal. And when they are new, they are wrapped. They are sealed with tape and wrapped with string. When they're wrapped with string, I buy them when they're like unopened, of course, because of the value of them. But this one I got just because it has been opened, and I would love to actually see what this smells like. You can see it is a beautiful bottle. It's sealed closed. It hasn't leaked. Jean Patou, made in France. Let's take a look at this bottle. Yep, it just looks really like nice quality. It's just a nice thing to be sitting on your shelf or wherever you keep your perfume. I don't know. Let's see what this is. Let's see if it's good enough that I might wear it regularly. I don't know. Maybe not, guys. But let's just see what the hype is about with this one. Joy Parfum. Let's open this up and finally smell it. Okay. I'm going to give myself a dab on my left hand here. I'm going to make sure I give enough where I can actually smell it. I always feel like it's going to leak because it doesn't screw in. It just kind of slides in. But it's just made well enough that it slides in glass to glass and it does not leak. Awesome. Smelling it now. It's kind of just like it's not as feminine as some of the fragrances that are out these days for women. It seems to me that ladies' fragrances these days are very floral or very sweet or gourmandish, but this one is similar to a lot of other 80s fragrances I've smelled for ladies. They really stick with the trends. What you get now, fragrances smell so different from each other. This smells nice. It's definitely feminine, but I don't think it's like 100% feminine. I think it's kind of like between unisex and feminine. I would say these days, it's not like, I don't think it would be crazy if a guy liked this fragrance and wanted to wear it. I don't think that's nuts. Because it just has that vintage, old school feel. It does not smell anywhere near like a modern fragrance. A lot of ladies' fragrances are very like gourmandish, or they're very sweet, sugary sweet, or very floral. This one has a lot of florals in it, and I'll read you the notes. The top notes, Bulgarian rose, ylang ylang, and tuberose. Middle notes are jasmine and May rose. And the base notes are musk and sandalwood. But it's very aldehydic, or it has aldehydes. This is like a vintage ladies' chypre fragrance. It does remind me of Giorgio Armani Eau de Toilette, which I've talked a lot about on this channel. It's not as good as my favorite one, the Dior Poison Ep.310 Parfum. That one I like the most, but it is somewhat similar to that. If you added a lot of plum to this, it might be similar. So it's a cool fragrance. I'm glad I got it. I'm glad it's opened. I can kind of smell it on occasion, and just to kind of remind myself what women used to smell like in the 80s. I don't know anybody in the 90s. Maybe I smelled this in the 90s from one of my teachers at school or something like that. But you remember, I'm sure you remember a lot of the scents that your teachers wore in school. And some of the women out there that wanted to smell classy, they probably smelled like this. I remember one science teacher had a very heavy scent, and I think it was aramis. I'm not sure. Maybe it was this one. Let's check this one out, guys. This is R. de Capucci. This is a small bottle. It's a 1 ounce or 30 ml bottle. The picture looked pretty good, the listing picture. It looked fairly clean. The box has got some marks on it. Now, I've gotten this one before. I have a 100 ml bottle. I have another 30 ml bottle. And whenever this one is cheap, I pick it up. Let's check it out if the juice is still good inside. Let's finish looking at the box. There's a batch code. 96D5. Parfums Capucci. I wonder if I can look up any information on this one and see. All right, I can't find the year that this came out, unfortunately. There's nothing on Check Fresh. Raiders of the Lost Scent has a thing about Capucci pour homme, but nothing about R. de Capucci. So can't tell you what year this is from, but we can look at some of the clues, guys. There is no batch code on this box, which means it's pre-1990. This is an 80s box, and if we take a guess from the batch code, if the first number is the year, then this would be 1989, or if the 5 is the year, it would be 1985. So maybe it's in 1985. And wouldn't you know it, this fragrance came out in 1985. The perfumer is Francois Caron. There are a ton of notes in this. If you guys want to see what notes there are in this and watch a video about me talking about this more, you can click the link up here to my previous R. de Capucci video. Just want to examine this one that I picked up and just give it a test spray. I like this little bottle. Let's see how full it is. Yeah, it's nearly full. There's probably, 28, 29 ml still remaining in this bottle. Now, this stuff is glorious. This is your, I don't know, this is like your signature masculine oak mossy scent from the 80s. The sprayer's not that good. I'm a little concerned about that. Let me give myself another blast here. Yeah, something's wrong with this sprayer, unfortunately. It comes out, and you see the sheen. There's enough that comes out, but it comes out like in tiny little puffs. So something's wrong with it, but it does work. Let's see how it smells. Smells glorious, guys. Smells glorious. I do have a big bottle. I still have a big bottle of this one. I'm going to compare it right now. I didn't think about doing this, but why not? Let's compare them. Yeah, everything looks about the same, but what I noticed is the batch code difference. This one has some information on the glass. Bottle made in France, Capucci, 100 ml, and this one doesn't. This batch code is 43D0, and this one is 965. Well, this came out in 1985, so if this 5 means 1985, if this 0 means 1990, because it wouldn't say 84 if this came out in 85, would it? So maybe this is a first year 1985. Let's look at the sprayers. Yeah, this sprayer is kind of like set inside this thing. And this one's kind of like sticking out. See that? It's a little bit weird. But it does work. And this fragrance is, It's not like a huge expensive fragrance on eBay. I guess this is, I don't know what it's worth. My guess is it's got to be worth at least 50 bucks. Somebody might pay even up to 100 bucks for a nice, clean, nearly full Eau de Capucci from the 80s, maybe the first year. And this one is sweet. I already sprayed it on this hand, so I'm going to spray up my arm here, separate them a little bit. This one just blasts out like a fire hose. This stuff comes out. I'll tell you what I'm smelling again. Let me smell this again and tell you. It's just a masculine green fragrance from the 80s. It's got that oak moss, that leather, vetiver. I wouldn't call it a chypre. It's not very spicy. This is not aramis at all. Think of Polo Cologne without the tobacco and pine. It does have aldehydes, does have rose and jasmine. It has florals, it has citruses, it has green notes, petitgrain, like I said, vetiver, patchouli, leather, oak moss. It just has everything. It's really fantastic. It's just nice to find this little bottle and to try these two classics out. Joy, by the way. Another thing about this is the 15 ml. The 30 ml sealed is very valuable. It's like in the hundreds, $200, $300. This one sealed, the 15 ml sealed, is probably worth around 100, 150 bucks. So this one, I don't know what this one's worth. Maybe this is worth like $20, $30, $40. It's been opened already. How much did I get these for? I found one seller selling both of them as usual. I put them together and asked for a bulk discount. I got it. Got these for about 2,600 Japanese yen, which is about $16 and change. So figure about $8 a piece for this and for this. Not bad. I just looked this up on Fragrantica. 1930. This has been out since 1930. I think they still produce this. Comments down below. Let me know, guys or ladies, if you're watching. Have you had any modern bottles of Joy? Do they still produce this? Are there any flankers? I think I saw some flankers, but what do you know about this fragrance? Do you guys like this fragrance? All comments about this down below. Really appreciate it, guys. Hit the thumbs up button. Hit the like button if you liked the video. And subscribe if you haven't already. You want to see more discontinued vintage rare and interesting fragrances on eaudetreasure. Thanks for watching as always, and stay tuned for the next video in a couple days. Until then, take care.